are there circumstances where you would defy a court order?
Well, I think that, number one, nobody's been through more courts than I have. I think nobody knows the courts any better than I have. I would say the chief judge does, but nobody knows them better than I have. And what they've done to me, I've had the worst judges. I've had crooked judges. I have judges that valued Mar-a-Lago at $18 million because that benefited his case, because he wanted to see me convicted of something. I have judges that had relatives making millions and millions of dollars on the election.
Good Lord. I have never enjoyed a word out of Donald Trump's mouth. I think I will. I think I'll enjoy the final one, but we're not quite there yet. Anyway, for now, he's lying. He's like, I loved the admission that few people have more experience with the court system than him. Yeah, you've lost a lot of cases, buddy. You've been found guilty of a lot of felonies. That is true. You've gone to court a lot. Repeat criminals typically do. But all the stuff about the corrupt judges and all that, what's the evidence of this? Nothing. It's judges that ruled against him. That means he doesn't like them. That's it. So that's Laura Ingraham talking with Donald Trump about the most recent scandal. And so that's him effectively telling judges to go shove it on, trying to rein him in on breaking the Constitution, invoking the war powers and all of that stuff. And so he's avoiding answering fairly clear questions. Laura Ingraham, though, out of character for her, decides to repeat the question. She's gonna try to get him like on the record on whether he'll comply with court orders. Take a look.
But going forward,
I had judges
would you
that were
defy
so
a court
corrupt.
order? Because that we all know that was outrageous.
I never did defy a court order.
And you wouldn't in the future.
No, you can't do that. However, we have bad judges. We have very bad judges, and these are judges that shouldn't be allowed. I think at a certain point you have to start looking at what do you do when you have a rogue judge. The judge that we're talking about, you look at his other rulings. I mean, rulings unrelated, but having to do with me, he's a lunatic.
He's a lunatic because he's standing with the Constitution. By the way, he's not even saying like permanently Trump can't do what he's trying to do, pretending that we're in a war that he invented so that he can deny people due process, racing us towards the sort of totalitarian state that for decades Republicans have been warning against, but now they don't have a problem with it because it's hurting people going to Venezuela or whatever. So anyway, like, yeah, that's obviously nonsense. The dude is just saying like, hey, can we like look into this? Let's consider it, and then maybe we deport those people. Lunatic. Absolute lunatic. How could you possibly do that? The guy also, that same judge made some rulings that hurt Hillary Clinton in the run up to the 2016 election. So yeah, we can look at that context and it's going to show that the guy doesn't rule in any one particular way. He seems to be looking at the facts on the ground. But Donald Trump isn't interested in that. Now, the core question here, and I guess it produces a good headline, doesn't it? Donald Trump asked by Fox News, will you defy a judge? And he said no. Kind of. Did he really though? I mean, he said we didn't defy a court order. No, you already did. You already did that. That happened over the weekend. But okay, forget that. Will you? No, you can't do that. Well, but that's again, we're asking you to say that you will not. And he's like making a value judgment that one shouldn't do that. But again, you already have, and it looks like you are now. And even if that wasn't already a really bad answer to the question, he then follows it up with, however, you have bad judges. Okay. Yeah, no, judges can be frustrating. I for one think that, when you had like a half century of precedent enshrining women's control over their own bodies, and a bunch of your Supreme Court justices say during their nominating contest that they would never ever challenge that, and then the second they come in, they do. Yeah, that's a bad judge. That's bad. We didn't impeach him though. Did we? Really frustrating the way that they directly lied about what they plan to do, how they plan to take people's rights away. Now this guy thinks, no, we just immediately you clear it all. First of all, you don't listen to what the judges say, but then even after that, you impeach the judges because they dare to say that like in America, we have due process and you have to go before a judge and all that. And so this is all really frustrating. It's a continuation, of course, from what we were talking about so far this week, Sharon, but I know we're just coming in with you. What do you make about this interaction with Laura Ingraham? Does it give you any hope that he'll comply with judges?
No, but it does give me clarity. I'm not confused at all. He will follow the judge's orders. if they rule in his favor, and he likes them. Okay, that's perfectly clear to me. I don't even know why this woman who likes to text the truth, her true feelings, offline, is even asking him this question. He doesn't follow the orders. He's been jammed up time and time again. He doesn't follow gag orders. We've seen that in other areas. As you pointed out right now, you're not following the order moments after the judge said, do not deport these people, turn the planes around if you are going to, all that. They did it anyway, and they still have not answered some very, I think, basic questions, claiming it's all like some real big, top secret deal. He's not gonna follow the orders, ever. And so here we are, while pundits keep telling us, but we're getting close to this line where we're constitutional crisis, democracy. We've been over the line. He's not gonna follow it.
Yeah, look, we're not approaching a constitutional crisis. We're approaching this constitutional crisis, the most recent chapter in the ongoing crisis that we're in. And it has different flavors every day. And we are, you watching this, you are experiencing the thing wherein it's super easy to look back to a historic event or whatever and be like, that's the thing that happened there. And oh my God, why didn't people do something? Well, no, but now we're living in it every day. And every day you have people trying to tell you like, well, but at least the judges are trying to do something and they surely wouldn't impeach them. And there's all this nonsense and noise and context and all that that's supposed to make us feel better. But we understand that while we have to focus on all those daily updates and all that, that's what we do here. That's what you're doing by staying abreast of the news and discussing it, ingesting it, all of that. We also know what is happening. Okay, and there's a lot of people trying to fill the air with dust, make it hard to see it, but we understand what's happening. And the messaging every day, grotesque, Trump once again attacking the judge. And we'll turn in a moment to what's actually possibly gonna happen to this judge. But he posted on Truth Social, if a president doesn't have the right to throw murderers and other criminals out of our country because a radical left lunatic judge wants to assume the role of president, then our country is in very big trouble and destined to fail. Yes, America, strongest nation in history, is destined to fail if there's a little bit of due process before you send these people to El Salvador from the lockup they were already in. They're already locked up. But if they just stay in that lockup in America for a few days a week, America will fall. That is the precarious position that he would have you believe America is in, that demands a death to the separation of powers, checks and balances, an independent judiciary, all of that. If we don't get these guys from one prison here to another prison there, we're done as a nation, okay? Pack it in, America. I personally don't think that America is that weak. Please don't listen to Donald Trump when he tries to convince you otherwise. Also, again, was the judge that stopped Joe Biden's student debt cancellation assuming the role of president? Oh my God, if the president can't cancel some debt that the federal government holds because this radical right judge wants to assume the mantle of president, then America is destined to fail. Is that the sort of whiny monologues that we did every day on this and other shows? No, God damn, they're pathetic. Their ideology is pathetic. Their rhetoric is pathetic. Their idea of what America is would be pathetic if it were true. Thankfully, it is not. Also, if they're murderers, show us the evidence. They're only vaguely implying that these are hardened criminals. Oh my God, if they'd caught a dude and he just killed like 2 people, you don't think that they would be like screaming that from the rooftops? If they had specific evidence of specific crimes at specific criminals, you don't think that Fox News would be bludgeoning us over the head with that? They're being vague because they don't have the evidence. What they have is Venezuelans. That's what they have. And that's supposed to be open and shut, done, we're done. They're Venezuelans, obviously they're murderers, we gotta get rid of them. If they had actual information, they would present it. When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?